major positive experts seem to always ignore is what's going on in this room right now, where 50 people have come together to play games. Gaming can have its positives and its negatives, but its biggest positive is happening right here. People coming together to enjoy their favorite hobby. This is John Miller for Take 30 News. Roman came in the day before to scope out this spot and decided that this would be the best spot for him to get cooking in class. A sport with a long history here in the States, its budding popularity has its players excited. Video games are the fastest growing media product today. They are seen as a more interactive movie or show that lets people control the main characters and decide their own personal outcome. The evolution of gaming spans across normal niches, says Associate Professor Dr. Kevin Williams.
No longer the case that you have a gamer versus someone who's a jock versus someone who's a nerd, versus someone who's a preppy, whatever. All those people, all those identities now incorporate gaming.
No longer are the gamers the loner types who do nothing but sit around and alone all day. Video games now can bring people together, not just locally either. Paired with the internet, there is no limit to who someone might end up playing with, befriending, or even finding a rival with whom they can compete against again and again, trying to better themselves. Gaming is something that many involved have always seen as positive.
And even if it does have some downsides, I feel like the positives far outweigh the negative.
Positively, I see it affecting, just like what we have going on right here, a great just connection of people coming together for one common goal, and that is to have fun.
It's becoming a great new social medium for people that want to get plugged into something interactive, really.
Gaming today in our society it's an integral part of learning and creativity.
Gaming can have its positives and its negatives, but its biggest positive is happening right here. People coming together to enjoy their favorite hobby. This is John Miller for Take 30 News. Mississippi State's full 2014 to 2015 school year has been a special one for the university. From its sports team accomplishments to new building projects starting and finishing all over campus, state students had a lot to be excited about. Though MSU gained a lot of attention on social media these past few days, all due to this picture. If you are a student at State, you probably have seen it by now. It shows a student in Dr. John Nicholson's Intro to Comp Theory class cooking bacon on a George Foreman grill. Roman Earhart was the student in the picture and explains how it came to be.
It was all premeditated. It was for a project called a social norm violation, and basically the point of it is you just do something out of the ordinary, and you get people's reactions, and you see like their immediate reactions and like if they have one, a long-term reaction.
And there were a lot of immediate reactions, and now a week later, there are still people reacting. Roman clearly wasn't the only student in that class. No, the class was attended by nearly 100 students every time it meets. And thanks to this picture, the story has ended up on BuzzFeed.com, TotalFratMove.com, and ForWhomTheCowbellTolls.com. Some people must have been wondering what the teacher was thinking, letting that happen. But Dr. John Nicholson was more than welcoming to the idea.
He came to me and spoke to me the week before about the assignment in Dr. Flick's class. And so we discussed some of the details, and in fact he was talking about bringing in a full-size griddle, and I said, man, you got to go buy a small George Foreman or something like that. So he and I had coordinated not only what he was going to do, but even when he was going to do it, where he was going to sit.
Roman went out and bought a small George Foreman grill and found the perfect spot to go through with his project. Roman came in the day before to scope out this spot and decided that this would be the best spot for him to get cooking in class. But outside of his disruptive sandwich making ways, Roman is just a normal college student who wouldn't recommend recreating his sandwich making and now has to deal with a new level of fame.
No. Obviously, it's the teacher's final say if you're going to do something like that, whether or not you even stay in that classroom for that moment. It's gotten to the point now where I have friends that I haven't talked to in like a year or two that are texting me or calling me and saying that they've seen it, and so it's interesting to see this.
So from now on, with his in-class hijinks done, the George Foreman guy, as he's been called, will go on and do what he does best, making delicious sandwiches, maybe even some for the world to enjoy. John Miller, Take 30 News.
Powerful.
Intense.
Lacrosse, a sport that has traveled across the United States, though most people in the southern states have never really heard of it, let alone seen a whole game of it played.
Down here, a lot of people don't even know that we have a team for state, and half the time when they see us out here, they don't know what we're playing.
Down south, it's a little behind, but it's definitely growing. I believe it's the fastest growing sport in the country.
Fastest growing sport is correct. According to an annual study by U.S. Lacrosse in 2013, the sport had a total of 747,000 players, up 3.4% from the previous year. The fastest growth amongst all team sports. A sport with a long history here in the States, its budding popularity has its players excited.
My high school started out with a club team, and within 3 years it grew to a program, and we were pretty good.
Many in the South may not think that they will be able to understand the game, but players say that their favorite sport could be others as well.
Like nothing else out there. You could say it's like other sports, kind of like hockey, because you can go behind the goal, or soccer kind of has the same positions and pace. It requires more hand-eye coordination than any other sport I can think of.
It's different. Not a lot of people know about it. It's interesting. It's fast, and to me it's really like no other sport.
There's so many things that happen, so much intensity around. You never know when something crazy is going to happen. You know, someone always getting over for that one open shot, and you just got to watch and keep your eyes on the ball. This makes you more one to watch.
So go out, explore a new sport, and you might catch yourself finding a new favorite. John Miller for Take 30 News.